So there is something holding you back and you might not even realize it. And a lot of people are dealing with a lot of clutter and a lot of things that are bothering them, and they don't even realize there's one thing really holding them back. So lovelies, grab your tea and let's go. So here's one thing a lot of people don't realize. You need to choose to be happy. Happiness is something that you often don't even recognize. You do have a choice, and not all of the time, but most of the time, I would say you do. Now, the most important thing in this I will get to in just a second, but first let me describe. There are some seasons in life, and many of us go through these seasons. Some of them can be really hard to let go of. Some of them we are happy and we are like, bye. But sometimes we don't realize we are not recognizing that a season in life is changing or that it has changed. Childhood is one of those things. We can take a lot of things from our childhood. We can have boxes. And I remember, for example, when I was a kid, we had like 2 or 3 bags of stuffed animals that my parents had in their storage area. And I don't even know what happened to that because they did separate later in life, but there were so many stuffed animals and they were just in bags. Now, I also had several drawers in my bedroom that were filled with many, many trinkets. I love doing crafts. So I had old crafts, I had craft supplies, and I had trinkets from when I would go to the store. I had like a little eraser that looked like a little dog, and I had all of these things in boxes. And so when it was time to move, I filled up my boxes with everything and I took it with me. I was actually leaving that season of life and I was not even recognizing it. It wasn't that I wasn't letting it go. I just was not recognizing it. So I took that stuff with me. Another season that a lot of us have that we don't even recognize that we are holding on to is young adulthood. So this is from like 18 years, maybe to mid-20s, even 30s, depending on your life. But this is a really great time for a lot of people. For me, I had a great young adulthood. I had so much fun with my friends. We did all sorts of great things. And when it was time to actually transition out of that area, I don't even think I recognized it. So I got married, I had kids, and we just still kept the things from our young adulthood. We had those in boxes as well. We have, like in our storage room, a couple of boxes that had all of these things, and I just went through it in the summer. Now, another big one, and this is one people really, really struggle letting go of, and this is when our kids are little. So when our kids are little, it is a major, major shift in our lives. Suddenly we go from putting ourselves and maybe our spouse first to having these little people that we have to put first all of the time. And these people come with things. I don't know why kids come with so many things. Even when they're like a little newborn, all of a sudden you just have tons of clothes, blankets, toys, furniture, all of that. And this stuff can stick with us for a while. As the kids get older, if we don't declutter those kid things, we still maintain those things. And then kids get older, so they start doing sports. They might start playing baseball, so they get the supplies for that. Or God forbid, hockey, which comes with even more supplies. So then you have that many more things. The good news is the hockey things are hockey equipment. That's what you call it. You can tell I'm not into sports. The hockey equipment is expensive, so a lot of times people will sell it just so that they can recoup some of those costs. But they might then replace it with either more hockey equipment or some other things. So then they have even more stuff. So they have got stuff from their childhood. They have stuff from their young adulthood. They have stuff from when they first got married. They have stuff from when their kids are little. And then they have stuff from when their kids are a little bit older. Now, when your kids finally fly out of that nest, you may still have a lot of their stuff. How many of us had a box of stuff at our parents' house for a long time? For me, it was actually at my grandparents' house, and it wasn't until this last September when I actually finally got the rest of my stuff out of there. And you know what? I'm not even keeping that stuff. I'm gonna see if my niece wants it, just a little heads up there, Colette. Or if not, I will either sell it or give it to somebody else, because I really don't want to hang on to things that I'm not interested in, that aren't serving me. I had these angel dolls from a young age and I loved them. Actually, I was probably like a teenager, but I really liked these dolls. And then now I'm looking at them and I'm like, I don't really want them. So it might make my mom sad for me to describe that I'm not probably going to keep these dolls, but I just don't want them. I don't need them. They're from a different stage of life. They're from a different season of life. So once your kids grow up, you may have a similar situation where you're holding on to things, expecting it to be sentimental to them when it really isn't. It's sentimental to you. It is sentimental from a past season of life. Now, as we go forward, there's also middle age, and then there's retirement, grandparenthood, and on and on. So if you look back, people can have decades and decades and decades of things going all the way back to childhood. Now, this is not something most of us want, is to have a lot of boxes from our entire life. Are you going to sit and go through all of this stuff? And if you are, how's it going to make you feel? There are seasons in life. Seasons are finite. Childhood, teenagehood, young adulthood. I'm not saying get rid of everything. I'm not saying get rid of anything. What I am saying is only keep what's serving you, only keep what you want and what can use. Mental illness and other things can get in the way, but when there is a choice, I want you to choose happiness. Happiness is not choosing to keep things around you forever because they remind you of things. So when you are decluttering, you really need to be honest with yourself and say, am I choosing happiness? Now, we all have times where we feel a little down and we feel a little sad, and we might choose to throw in a little bit of sad music, like some of the Cure's darker stuff. Maybe we feel a little down, but you know, the thing is, you don't want to make this a habit. You don't want to feel down for a long period of time. You need to choose happiness. Choosing happiness is part of recognizing that seasons come and go in life. It's not exactly the best thing, but it is reality. I want you to choose to make your life as good as it possibly can, because you only get one. So recognize that seasons have come, seasons have gone. There are seasons ahead of you, and no matter what, you can try your very best to make that season great. Now, this is a video I did when I was actually going through boxes under our stairs for past seasons of life. And this is stuff from my childhood, from my husband's childhood, from my kids when they were young. And you can see how I tackled going through those things. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.